Isolation. Keeping the suspect isolated from others increases stress levels and makes them more likely to cooperate. It's about using solitude as a psychological tool. Isolation removes the suspect's support system, heightens their anxiety, and makes them feel vulnerable. This state of mind can make them more willing to talk to the interrogator as a means of alleviating their isolation and stress. Bluffing. Pretending to have more evidence or information than actually exists to pressure the suspect into confessing or providing information. It's a risky game of psychological chess. By suggesting they have incriminating evidence, interrogators can make the suspect believe that their guilt is already proven, pushing them to confess in hopes of receiving more lenient treatment or to explain their side of the story. Mirroring. Mimicking the suspect's body language, speech patterns, and behavior to build rapport and make them feel more comfortable. It's about creating a sense of familiarity and trust. Mirroring helps establish a connection between the interrogator and the suspect. When the suspect sees their own behaviors reflected, it can create an unconscious bond, making them more likely to trust the interrogator and share information. Pride and ego up/down. Boosting the suspect's ego or attacking their self-worth can make them more likely to cooperate. It's about manipulating their sense of pride and self-esteem. By either inflating the suspect's sense of self-importance or undermining their confidence, the interrogator can influence their willingness to confess. A suspect who feels valued might open up to maintain their status, while one who feels demeaned might confess to regain some control. Cognitive interview. This technique focuses on enhancing the memory recall of witnesses and suspects by recreating the context of the event and varying the order of recall. It's about getting the most accurate information possible. The cognitive interview technique involves asking open-ended questions, encouraging detailed descriptions, and changing the sequence of events recalled. This approach helps to jog the memory and uncover details that might otherwise be overlooked. Silence. Prolonged silence can create discomfort and anxiety, prompting the suspect to fill the silence with information. It's a psychological game of patience. The pressure of silence can be more unnerving than aggressive questioning. The suspect, feeling the weight of the silence, might start talking to break the tension, inadvertently revealing valuable information. Emotional appeal. Here, the interrogator appeals to the suspect's emotions, guilt, fear, empathy, to elicit a confession or information. It's about connecting on a personal level and exploiting emotional vulnerabilities. By tapping into the suspect's feelings, the interrogator can create a strong emotional response, making the suspect more likely to confess in an attempt to alleviate their emotional burden or fear of consequences. Good cop/bad cop. One interrogator plays the aggressive, hostile role, while the other adopts a sympathetic, friendly approach. This contrast is intended to make the suspect more willing to cooperate with the good cop. The read technique. This widely used method involves a multi-phase process starting with a positive confrontation and theme development, handling denials, and ultimately leading to a confession. It's a comprehensive approach designed to break down the suspect's defenses. The read technique begins with positive confrontation, where the interrogator accuses the suspect confidently. This is followed by theme development, offering justifications or excuses for the suspect's actions. Denials are interrupted to prevent the suspect from reinforcing their innocence, and objections are addressed and neutralized. Finally, the suspect is given alternative explanations for their behavior, encouraging them to confess. Direct confrontation. In this technique, the interrogator directly accuses the suspect of the crime, presenting evidence or sometimes fabricating it to elicit a confession. The aim is to apply psychological pressure and provoke a reaction. By confidently asserting the suspect's guilt, the interrogator aims to create a sense of inevitability about the confession, pushing the suspect to either confess or respond in a way that reveals more information.